starting out this VOD. I think you were goal 2, and looks like it's Villa, which is a good map, and we'll just continue on here, see how it goes. Again, what I was saying before, yesterday, was that you were doing very well in scenarios where you know you could come out on top very easily. What I'm looking for is like the little mistakes here, like positioning, gadgetry placement, decisions in something more than just a 1v1 scenario. And one of those things will be right here, asking your team, hey, can you ban Thatcher? If someone hadn't voted there, you wouldn't have had Thatcher banned. So just speaking up and saying, hey, can we ban Thatcher? Maybe more people will ban him. Same thing goes for sites. And we'll go ahead here, since we don't care about waiting for them. They banned Clash, which is kind of a moot thing. Yep. I just hope that you don't speak in chat the entire time. If you only speak in chat, then you're going to limit yourself very much to calls and such like that. And it'll just be really, really hard to get through with stuff. And you're just putting your drone over here, which is good. And then what I would do is I would just, if you're going to have your drone here, scroll through everyone else's drones.
Shotgun.
So that's L is FL12. He's a little too loud for you. But yeah, just going through other people's drones will help out. You may not, like, you already know what site they're on. They're on Aviator Games because everyone goes that first, but sometimes they'll go somewhere different. And it also allows you to figure out what they have and will allow you to better figure out how you want to take the site versus just running in and doing whatever you want.
Where's the objective?
Insertion in 5 seconds.
I see. You don't know where the objective is. 2 of the drones are destroyed, so you probably could have seen where the objective was just by scrolling through the drones.
You must locate and defuse a bomb.
Could you repeat this?
Repulsion devices. All set. Clear.
So probably what you should have done was yell Ella jumping out that window. Yeah, it's not that good of a call out because you're saying that window, but the only people who are actually at a window are the ones who just broke it open. They might understand what you're saying at that point. And even if they already had droned that and they knew she was there, they know, okay, Ella's here, Ella's jumping out a window, holy shit, she's jumping out my window. Or even saying, Nomad, Ella at that window, Ella jumping, or something like that. Something to say that she's pushing you instead of just absolutely nothing.
Device in position.
And we didn't say where Frost was, that she was near 90 Hall or near top of Red Stairs. That could have been useful to the Buck. Buck could have died there. This is where I'm starting to see that now. You probably should have leaned to the other side a little bit sooner compared to what I saw in you playing T-Hunts. You just have to, like, you can see back over here, like, you're right here. You're peeking the angle. Like, this is right. This is correct so far, the way you're peeking this, because you're using this part of the doorway as cover. And then once you go farther, you go farther, and now all of a sudden you don't have this wall for cover. You have this deer statue or whatever for cover, but you can shoot through this, and then you have to prone down to actually get full cover of this desk here. So you're no longer using this as cover, and if someone peeks you from this side, they're going to see your shoulder on this side, on your right side, before they actually see you. So you need to understand that and flip your sight and lean to the right at the right time, or in between here, because you kind of didn't change that. Oops, there we go. And so right there, where it's to the point where you could have been peaked and you could have died from that very easily. If you had kept going with this angle and cleared this room, then I could see that. But you were very clearly trying to clear Astro, and you didn't even clear it all the way. You kind of cleared yourself all the way so you can get into cover, and then now it looks like you're going to go back over and clear it again to actually clear the room. But you don't know if anyone's in there. You didn't drone it or you didn't do anything. You know, I will say this before we continue, you know for a fact that no one's in this immediate vicinity of at least statuary. So you could have gone around, gone up by Red Stairs Landing, and gotten Buck. And saved him, or at least revived him. He was in the line of sight of the door, I think, but he's still alive, so Frost really isn't communicating that to her team. Yeah, it's more nitpicky for me to say that you should have just gone around and gone up to the other way, but you could have saved him faster. He could have died, and then now you're just down another person. And you're basically down 2 people right now because 2 of your teammates are just one shot. And you're also not communicating at all with your team so far. You've just asked where the site is, and that's about it. And you asked for a Hibana at the very beginning, but like actual communication of like talking to them during the game has been almost none. So, Legion pushing us. Yeah, he went through the barbed wire, so Buck probably heard that too, but say that, because sometimes people aren't listening, they aren't looking, they're maybe playing music in the background. If you notify them that someone's pushing us, and if you say that you're playing with friends or something like that, they're going to recognize your voice, they know who they're with, and then they're going to look at the door.
Bomb has been located.
Okay, that was kind of poor, because you could have easily droned that out and figured out where he was. You're kind of slowly figuring it out as you went, but if we go back here, you get the barbed wire, and then you just start droning from here. You call out where Valk is, they get the kill on Valk, because I'm pretty sure she was peeking you from here, wasn't she? Yep, she's peeking you from study, so you call out where she is in study. And I think Nomad's the one that kills her. Yep, Nomad kills her. And you're still droning at this point. You drone more. You figure out where Doc is. You call it out. And now you have 4 people with the known position of someone at where someone is. And they're going in. But right here, you're getting spotted. And you don't know where this person is. At all. They could be anywhere in sight and you don't know where they are.
Bomb has been located.
And it doesn't even look like you know fully where they are. Yeah, you kind of figured it out there. It took you a second, and then you figured out there. You hear them to your right, you see the hole, and you're like, okay, they're in the hallway. and one person died, one person was downed, if he was in a slightly better position, he could have killed you, and then Hibana was also one shot too, wasn't she? Yeah, she was also one shot. You see how like easily that could have gone south for you guys? And the only reason why you won that was because you weren't punished for it. Like,
Good.
Op 4 eliminated. Friendly mission successful.
you guys won the round, but it was an iffy round. And we'll just go ahead here. I'm picking up Sophia again.
Ten seconds before insertion.
So we know that they have an alibi and another
Insertion in 5
Ella
seconds.
again. And is it Legion?
Watch
Just
out
looking
for
up at
small
that.
pigs.
Locate and defuse.
So, one thing that I kind of don't like about what you're doing is that you don't drone in at all. So you have zero idea of what's going on inside. Like and no one's communicating. Like this would be different if you had people communicating what they're doing, but you don't have that. You don't have people communicating with you. So you need to figure out what's going on the inside. Maybe putting a drone inside, just placing it down as like a static camera from where you're going to enter, and then going from there instead of just bringing it directly from where it spawned to your spawn, and then you have no idea, and now you're asking them, your teammates, where they are.
This window is open. Watch out.
That's connector window is what we call it. I'm pretty sure it has a different name though, so.
Near me and long.
Trophy entrance is what it's called. Or trophy window, because there's only one window in trophy. Or near trophy. So we have no idea if someone's there or not at all. So that's when you say Jaeger running out trophy window or connector window, whatever you want to call it, because you have a teammate sitting up here. Jaeger knows that they're droning. They might have a cam out here because they had a Valk last time, so they could have that again. We know they have a Jaeger and that they have a Ella, so we don't know who one of them are, and one of them could be a Valkyrie with a cam outside. And now you have to try and figure out who that one person is, or you can just call out too, hey, Jaeger's running out on trophy window. And if you had called that out, to go back here, right there, Jaeger running out trophy window. She could have had her other primary swapped out sooner, or she was definitely on drone before that, if you look at her. Oh no, wasn't that she was on drone, maybe. I can't tell if that's the SMG-12 or if that's just her on her drone. Here. Either way, obviously barely was reacting to it, so you reiterating what's going on could have saved her. And you have a drone sitting there. Like, there's no reason for you to peek this window in the way that you're doing it with no information. You have the possibility of droning him, because not only do you have one possibly just sitting right here, but you also have your one in your pocket. So there's no reason for you to peek this when you know that Jaeger's being aggressive. And then that was Legion running across. So the last one is a Doc or a Mute or a Rook, or a Wamai is not who that could be, because we heard the MP5 sound.
Someone exposed you.
And your one drone is gone. Now you know he's on the window.
Drop the diffuser. Diffuser has been
So call out where Jaeger is. Like, there's no need to not call him out.
The diffuser is no longer in your possession.
They got him like
The diffuser is now
immediately, but
secured.
calling out that there's also a alibi that was at the base of your window is also a good idea. So now you're at the point of, I don't have any drones, how do I do this? One thing that you could do is you could use these. You can, one, breach the floor right below you because there's barbed wire there, so you can get rid of that. And then you can also use your stun and chuck it into, excuse me, trophy to see if that's clear. There you go. So you know that's clear. So, yeah, take it. There you go. You didn't need to shoot down below because you know that there isn't a Frost on the team, so no need to. And then also, we don't really know where Legion is, but we heard Doc way over on the right near Aviator Games Room, somewhere in that vicinity. So we know we're pretty okay on site. Like, there's only one person on site, so communicating that to our team would also be a good idea. And it's something that I think the Nomad, she's hunting him, she should be telling too, like, hey, Doc isn't on site, it's just Legion on site. Or no, site isn't even here.
Location has
Because I don't know where site is because you didn't drone it.
been compromised. 15 seconds.
They really did put out a lot of stuff on this side. Kind of funny though.
10 seconds left. You have located a bomb. Op 4 last stop standing. 5 seconds remaining.
Okay, another very close call that you guys probably shouldn't have won. And excuse me. Oh, gosh. And it's something that you need to communicate better with. You didn't die, but you didn't kill anybody either. You got one assist, and you didn't even down the person. What you need to do is you need to communicate more. If you were communicating more, this would be a lot easier.
Good job.
Op 4 eliminated. Friendly mission successful.
Yeah.
And we'll skip ahead again, and we're gonna go Twitch. And you just bring it. Okay, so now with Twitch, since you have an infinite amount of tasers, you want to be able to use your drone as often as possible. So getting default cams of where you plan to enter is not a bad idea anymore. Because by the time that you get to your drone again after spawning in and walking up to the building and starting to drone out again, you're going to have 2 or 3 of these filled up again and another one on the way while you're going to clear out defender gadgets along your route. So clear out defender cams before you get in the prep phase when you have time for this to recharge. Bringing this back and having you pick it up isn't the best play, isn't the best use of your utility now. Because you actually don't have a limited amount of it. You have infinite, so long as you can use it throughout the round.
Rough.
Same spot.
So now we know that they're in trophy. They have a Mozzie and an Ella shotgun again. And that's probably a Doc again.
10 seconds to insert.
And we know that they have someone with impacts.
5 seconds to insertion. You must locate and defuse a bomb.
Good job on shooting that. Just being cautious, which is great.
You have located a bomb.
Yep, I can see it's slowing down a little bit each time you get up to it.
As my friend would say, time to make a new.
So you probably shouldn't have done that. You know where he is. What I would do is I would have gone back out. I would have called out where he was, that he was in statuary, and that he's on the right side of the door. And then I would gone back in and droned out bathroom, seeing if there's any gadgets in there that you can get, and then seeing if there's anyone playing an Astro, because that is where you are going to enter. It doesn't matter if you get that goo trap, because you have 3 of you guys right here. There's going to be... Oh, someone left. Ouch. There's going to be... What is it? Looks like the Nomad is going to be going in from the other side. But you can get that trap at any point. You don't... Like, you can shoot that if you want to from the bedroom door. You don't have to actually be using your drone for that. And now you lost one of your drones, which isn't the great thing, especially as Twitch. And if we had droned out the rest of the room, we could have seen Ella hiding in the closet, and we could have warned our teammate that she was in there.
Drop the diffuser.
And now she got another one. I glitched a little bit for me, or lag, but that was pretty good. And you, I mean, you have a drone that can get that gadget.
On pink. Noisy. He's dead.
The diffuser has been recovered.
She put another one? Oh my gosh. So it is a confirmed a dock. So now, if you don't know which operators are left, or at least all but one, then you need to be better about sounds as well, because we know that they have a Legion and that they have a dock. We don't know who one of these are. That's it, right? Yeah. I mean, it could be still a Rook or a dock, or not a Rook or a dock, a Rook or a Wamai as well, or a Mute. But we know what the MP5 at least is for sure dock,
One friendly operator
and now we
remaining.
know confirmed as well by him killing us. And then calling out as well where he is. So there we go. Again, the other one was a... Oh my gosh. A Maestro. But calling out where Donk was so that he can refrag off of you. I'm pretty sure he did.
Might be an Astra.
Four last operators.
That was... What?
All friendlies have been eliminated.
Nice try.
It was a good try though, yeah. And we had a drone there, didn't we? Let me go back.
He's dead.
Kind of. We didn't even set it, like, you set up your drone so that it wasn't even looking at the flank. You set it so it was looking at the door. So there's no use for that drone now. If you had that drone looking at the flank in an inconspicuous spot, like in the shower, like if I go back here again, like if you had it sitting right in here looking this way at the door, even if it's not looking at Astro, you still have sound cues for if someone's near the door, and you can better tell them for that. But having it be looking at the wall, not even at the door, and like in the middle of the room, it's gonna get shot, and it's not gonna provide any information then. And even the information that it does provide, if it's not shot, is minimal. So better placement of drones and then going on them after you die as well. Like that was kind of a poor thing to do. Because I don't think at any point did you hear, excuse me, did Legion shoot the drone. So it could have still been there. I don't remember hearing it at all. Oops, I need to do that. But now we're on defense. It's a lot easier for us now.
The bombs.
Sorry.
Okay. I'm guessing that he was just because it was a one shot. Yeah, he says my bad too. So I'm guessing he walked in front of him as he was opening something else. Another thing you should do, you didn't do this when we were in doing customs, but when you're bandit tricking, shoot out the wall and like on both sides of the reinforcements, or not on both sides, but like shoot out a hole on this side and then shoot out a hole on this side, or one in the middle, because that helps sound propagate through a little bit better. I don't know why this is. It just does. I don't recommend punch holing it either. For some reason, just shooting out a hole, a small hole like the size of this with your pistol, it does more for sound than having a hole like this size that you punched out. I don't know why that is either. It's just the way that the game works. Sound is fucky when it comes to reinforcements. One thing you could do is you could bandit trick, because they still have a Kali that could destroy those. But it also depends on how they're going to play it. If you guys end up losing and you find out that you could have benefited from bandit trick, then do it. But this is not really a site that requires bandit tricking, I would say. And I would also recommend not prepping windows that you don't intend on jumping out of, or things that you don't intend on jumping out of later. That really isn't an intent to jump. That's allowing them to open it up and get in that much quicker, and giving your team less time to react. Jumping out of that window is near suicide, because you intend to kill whoever is sitting out there droning, or you intend to die. And that's that. Prepping the window to your right, over here, by fireplace, wouldn't be a bad idea either. Just opening it, just so it's open, because then they have to either constantly watch it, or they have to ignore it and push sight, and then now you can actually peek out of it. I'll do that as if I'm playing like Doc on this site, or someone with an ACOG, or even like anyone at all. And if I'm roaming over there, I'll prep the window, I'll open it flat out, and then just wait until like there's minute 30 left, and then start peeking it. I won't peek it until then. And then another thing that you can do as well is looking at cameras within the first 15 seconds of the round. You're not going to have anyone come anywhere near you in this game. 10 to 15 seconds. Depending on where you are, Amaru exists and everything, and Ash can rush in. Like if you're sitting in Visa, you're not going to go on cams within the first 10-15 seconds of the game, because anyone could be at that door within like 5 seconds. You know that. Like everyone knows that. And you don't even have good camera placement on the outside to protect you from that. But on a map like Villa, you have every entrance covered with your cams. If you look and see, okay, where are they coming from, you might be able to see, one, who they have, and two, where they're pushing from. If they're all in one area, they all can't spawn in the same spot, that can be a pretty good indication of what they're doing. If literally no one spawned over here, then you don't have to roam over here. You being here, you know you're safe, but you don't really have to be over here. Like you can prep the window and be ready to go and peek it later on in the round, but you don't have to sit over here the entire time. because sitting over there doesn't really do anything for your team, especially if they're clearing out roamers down below, and then that pulse could then use help, and you got killed immediately because that's a pretty common spot for someone to peek. So, and he was on the ground waiting for you to do that too.
Where?
One friendly remaining. Op 4 located a bomb. Protect it.
I think that they are inside.
Oh no, they're definitely in sight. If they have half a brain, they're in sight because he killed someone down below. So it doesn't take a genius to realize you killed everyone on site. The only person that's dead on our team died down below. So I guess I know where the last person is here.
Someone on A.
And he's oblivious too, because he's pinging it for you, for your team, when he doesn't know that it's a 1v4 right now. That would be the time to say that where you guys need to start speaking up, because he has no idea what the fuck just happened. 2 of you die, or 3 of you died, and he probably still thinks there's one other person because someone died. And now he's trying to figure out which one has the bomb.
Be advised, Op 4 has located a bomb. Bomb diffuser in place.
And I'll show you this, what he did. He blocked the actual stair peek. So here, you can see how he peeked it. One, he's not even peeking at head or crouch level. He's peeking at like chest level for whatever reason. So if someone was crouching, he would be a little bit above them. Their crouch level would be like right here. And if they were standing up, they're probably peeking around here. So he's in between there. So he's bad on both parts. Don't do what he's doing. And his sight is blocking the entirety of the stairs where they could peek, the safe spot to peek, which is sitting on this part of the stairs and just peeking over the railings. Don't do what he did.
All friendlies were eliminated. Mission failure.
So, biggest thing that screwed you guys over there was going to be the lack of communication as to what was going on, and it seems like they just walked in and took the site. So having better defenses on site would be better, because they didn't go and do a roam clear. They didn't come from the opposite side of the map. So why would you, if you pick roamer again and you go to the other side of the map again, then I don't know what to say, because you don't need to do that. And they're trying to say trophy because that's not a bad idea. You guys very clearly lost that, and it was a swift victory. So try something new. They won. They went to the same site 2 times in a row, lost them both, decided, okay, now we're going to go to trophy, and then they finally won one. Well, you guys should do the same thing. Or not the same thing. You should do something different and pick a different site than what you just lost. Because it's not that you were like, oh, I could have we just fucked up this one little thing and we could have made it work like really easy. Like say you played a clash and she fucked up and got too close to an air jab. Like that is like a screw the pooch. Like we should not have done that. That's our fault, you know. But something like what just happened there, they just walked in and took the site. No one was like, there's multiple things that you guys need to do together. Like each individual person needs to do that you can't communicate with in the 30 seconds that you have to pick. So you should pick a different site. You should do that, just because then you have a better chance of coming out on top. Oh, you guys actually did do a different one. I thought I read it Aviator Games. Wow. Ooh. I need a new prescription apparently.
Secure the bombs.
Sending trauma pack here.
Op 4 located a bomb. Protect it.
Okay, so for this, I would have probably, if you're, since it looks like you're probably going to play in here, I would attach it to the door. There's a lot of differences between just attaching it to the door versus doing what you're doing and having it out. If you had it in master bedroom door, that would probably be a good time to not attach it to the door, because you don't, if they walk in, you want to make it uncomfortable for them to walk in while you're still able to peek it. You don't want it to be uncomfortable for you to walk out of here, because you need to be able to get the fuck out if something happens. So make it easier on yourself and just attach it to the door. That's what I would say. It can still work this way, but that's the way I would do it. And you need to get your rook armor too.
Down to 10 seconds. 5 seconds left. Op 4 has
I
located a
don't
bomb.
really know why you did that.
Razor wire going up.
And one thing that could have done better for you here, I'm not saying like I might be eating my words here, but you could have gone barbed wire and put it at the door, because not only do they have to destroy the frost mat, but then that you have the sound cue of them walking through the barbed wire for you to peek, because you can hide pretty damn well in this corner before you actually need to peek, and you don't have to be exposed by this door at all while you peek, or the window, I should say, way over here. But let's see how it goes.
Deploying ATS.
And what you're doing as well is you need to play really, really passive. Sorry. Like a passive aggressive kind of play style. You need to stop them from coming in, but you don't want to peek. Don't take a fight that you can't 100% guarantee a kill off of. Because if you lose, they get this, you guys lose a smoke, and you lose the utility that you provide. And the Jaeger's dead. And the Frost is dead. So Maverick's dead. And that's Buck on your window. See what I mean by it could have been a little bit easier if there was barbed wire there? Because you heard the vault in, the frost mat was destroyed. But if he was in barbed wire, could have been a little bit better for you. And I think there's a drone on the floor right behind you, isn't there? Yeah. So he knew exactly where you were playing, and he just hopped right in and tried to kill you.
On site, on B, on B, on B, on B, on B. IQ on B. B, not A.
So you now know you have two people's attention right now. One person's on site, but considering that they're probably not planting yet, they probably don't have the bomb. So you have two people's attention. You are stalling out. You have half the round to try and stall them out. All I'm saying is good luck with that, and I hope this works out. But it's a good idea, yep. Just use your utility. Now you know one thing. And you know it's an IQ.
One friendly
And you
operator
somehow got one of them. Oh my god. And she shot you through the wall too.
all friendly.
Probably what you should have done was make where IQ is shooting you from right here. If you'll take the scoreboard off right here. What I would have done is I probably would have made a hole here. They weren't pressuring this window at all. Made a hole here. You won't get shot from that window. And basically hightail it the fuck out of there. You have that, if you have the shield attached to the door there, you could crouch out of here and at a crouch hole height, and you could have been safe. Like entirely. You could have just pre-fired this window as you're leaving, because I'm pretty sure that'll expose you to the window as you're leaving. Pre-fire it as you're leaving, or smoke it off so they can't see you leave, and you're fine. then you get a fallback install in Astro. And I will say that Rook is kind of like, He both their Doc and your Rook are seemingly like, just their self-awareness is low from what it seems like, because he was told that there's someone on site and he's still in Astro. Like, he's not taking an aggressive angle on Trophy here with the hole, and he's not peeking over there. He's not holding a more aggressive position in Astro like he should be. He's just kind of playing it off like, oh, there's people around me, who cares? And you guys are gonna go back to Aviator Games. Let's see what you do.
Protect the bombs.
Time to armor up.
I will have to remember to look at your MMR to see where this game actually took place at too. Because Unranked gets reset every season too, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, Twitch.
I'll have to ask you as well what your ranks were.
5 seconds to insertion.
Because I might just do mid-gold. I don't know.
Bomb locations are secure. A bomb has been located by Op 4.
I really hope you don't try and do that again. Yeah. Thank you. And, again, if we had looked on cams for the first 10 to 15 seconds of the round, we could have seen who they possibly could be and where they're coming from. We already know that they have a Nomad for sure, because we could hear the ARX. Now we know they have Sophia. I think that was the barrel of a gun. Or is that just debris falling? What the hell? Now we have a Twitch.
Where? Diffuser RTD.
I think I heard him say top of red, which is that away over there.
Twitch CG. She's on the left, Doc. She has put a claymore at the door, careful.
Op
Last
4,
study,
last
study.
stop standing.
Target located. Second floor.
No claymore at the door. She's balcony.
So, you got stemmed, rush her down. It takes now 5 shots for you to die from that FAMAS, which is a long time, to be fair.
Balcony.
Still a jack rate of fire, but it's a long time out. And you kind of don't know what's going on.
She's balcony.
So you're peeking that, and all of a sudden you're peeking to the left for some reason. You saw her run out,
Careful.
and then you look back over. That just seems like you don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know if you're trying to react to the Nomad air jab, but you weren't looking for it. You're doing it as if you're peeking the actual doorway for a person. Alright. You tried to be aggressive. Your rook did. And you didn't follow up with him. So now we go back to site and we don't do anything. And we just hold an angle and wait for her.
Op 4 eliminated. Mission
Really aggressive there. If it was a good player again, you guys wouldn't have won that, probably.
successful.
Please tell me he has a hollow on the MP5. Or the P90, damn it. Shame. Oh, she was really lit too. She died of one hit from that thing. Anyway, so I think the biggest thing that's holding you back that I've found now is you just don't talk. Like, you don't want to talk to anybody in the game, even though you're playing a roamer entry fragger role, and you need to. Like, the meme of the community is that Ash main no brain, you just walk in and you kill people as an entry fragger, but the best Ash mains are the ones who communicate and tell their team who they're killing, where they're going, and what they're doing. If you don't do that, then you're just throwing your wins down the drain. Good players understand that if you're roaming as Jaeger and you kill Hibana and it's Bank, well, now we don't have to worry about hatches. If you kill Thatcher on Bank, well, now I can just put my Electro Claws up and they can't do anything about it. If I kill Thermite on Bank, well, now we don't have to worry about this wall on CCTV objective. Like, there's so many things that you could be doing that you're not doing that not only help you, but will help your team, which will then in turn help you. And we start on defense. So I was gonna say we should win this, and it looks like you guys do. Yeah, 5-4. So you do win it. So good. You guys play to the Villa advantage. Okay. One thing I will say about Oryx is he's almost completely worthless. Like, almost completely worthless. Because his only utility to the team is... Oh, excuse me. Is getting a flank off by jumping up a hatch. Granted, this is a pretty good map to do that on, but it's not the best way to like wager as to whether or not you're going to win a round or not to get a flank off. Like, you don't count on roamers to flank someone to be able to win a game, if you know what I mean. Like, you never count that the Jaeger is going to come back and kill everybody. Like, that's not how that should work. Like, if he's coming around to kill everyone after being gone for half the round, then he wasn't doing his entire job as a roamer. So it's kind of a moot point. He is a fun operator, though. Don't get me wrong.
Op 4 has located.
I think I know what you're doing with this, and I hope you don't do that.
A bomb. Plan your defenses accordingly. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds and counting. Op 4 has located a bomb. Be ready for hostile action.
One thing you can also do, you looks like you're just kind of having fun with it right now, but if you should roam with Oryx just because of his utility that he provides to a roamer. But just literally getting around the map using his speed run is really, really useful, because in that moment that you're running, if you didn't know, you actually become the fastest operator in the game. You're faster, I think, than the old 3 speeds. So you're going around pretty fast by doing that. And it recharges pretty quickly too.
Op 4 found a bomb. You must defend it.
So, Astro window, call it out. There's no need for you to not call this out. He got the kill, but what if he wasn't paying attention for some godforsaken reason? What, like, I'm no one being nitpicky about this kind of stuff, but you have to start communicating this stuff, because if you don't, then you're just gonna lose games for no reason.
Swapping!
Balcony. They have a shield.
I need to test and see if you can actually hear whether he, when he recharges, when he goes that big sigh, if you can hear that or not.
And Blackbird.
Vigil, split. Top red. Inside.
One friendly
And it's Blackbeard. I'm not gonna say you 100% should have known that it was a Blackbeard that was peeking you there, but it was a good indication that you have a shield Blackbeard. If you know that there's a Blackbeard on the other team, which you did because he was spotted, then he's probably gonna be right behind a shield. And it's Blackbeard, so he's stupid.
All friendlies were eliminated. Mission failure.
So this is where I have to ask you, what did you contribute to that round? At all? Like, did you contribute literally anything at all? My argument would be no, you did absolutely nothing. Even when we go back, if I were to go all the way back to this round, did you contribute anything to this round? Did any of your ADSs go off? Your barbed wire probably helped a little bit. Your reinforcements definitely did. But you, anything else that you did that contributed to this round? At all? Because I could argue pretty much no. You put pressure on the Twitch to help the Doc to get the kill. But other than that, you really didn't do anything in that round. And that's where you have to try and look at that stuff. Like, yeah, I won, but I didn't do anything at all. And you have to understand those kinds of games and those kinds of rounds. And that's how you improve and make yourself a better player. I won, but I could have done a lot of things differently. And we'll continue on. And again, you're just like, you're depriving yourself of information every single round by just throwing your drone into spawn.
5 seconds to insertion. Drone has located a bomb.
I thought it was weird when we were doing 1v1s and I was upstairs on consulate and it took you until like the end of the prep phase, or like right after the prep phase, before you actually found out where I was. And I now know why, because you rely on everyone else to drone you in. That's not how that works as an entry fragger. You need to drone yourself in, or you need to be communicating with someone to drone you in, and you're doing neither of those things right now.
Proceed to bomb's location and defuse it.
And are you gonna remember your drone? There you go.
Drone is a go.
Let's say, be careful. I saw her repelling. I'm like, don't shoot the camera instinctively, please. One thing you should also note, when it comes to default cams, yes, shoot them as soon as you can, but not literally as soon as you can, because it's better to save a life than it is to shoot a teammate. That's like the biggest one problem child with cam with that is bank back alley. The amount of times, even in Pro League, where it's happened, where someone is team killed just because they're shooting the cam at the very start of the round. Like, it doesn't matter. They know you're going to be there. Who cares? So, you know that she's in there. She probably knows that she's in there. Let her know that she has the FL12 and that she's to her left. And that's telling other teammates that because she's not communicating that to her team. So if you tell that to everyone, make that a general call out, now all of a sudden everyone knows where she is. And if someone else is in the vicinity to capitalize on her being out in the open and with a shotgun, then they can.
Drones up and running.
And you're kind of just going. We saw an Ella trap up there. Are we gonna get it? Yep.
You located a bomb.
So we kind of just wasted that there. But again, like Ash could have come in sooner because if she knew everything was clear up until there, then she could have just cleared it in. Like Ash is entering over there and drone her out. Say, hey, this is clear. This is clear. This is clear. Ash, you're good to go. Like it helps a lot. A lot.
All set to blow it up.
See, and now you're at a stalemate of you guys are both looking at an angle, or pretty much the same angle it seems like, or no, different ones. She's looking to the right, you're looking to the left. Someone has to drone out, and it'll probably be you.
Cluster charge going.
The diffuser is no longer in your possession.
Activating shock drone.
So tell them no Ella trap on the door, so that they don't have to worry about it. So they're less what's the word? It's not sketchy. That's timid to go in. Then you can say castles behind bar and games. Yeah, games. And Maestro is in. It seems like vault. Yep, he's in vault. But we're not saying anything to anybody. And it also looked like you were looking for the electric claw on that wall, but what's the point? Like, you got it on the other one, but what was the point? Like, you shot it. I was going to say this, and I will now, but you don't have a hard breacher. So you getting that electric claw means literally nothing. Ooh. Can't be open because Maestro isn't alive. And you don't have any Twitch
On
drones.
the left, Doc.
15 seconds left. Op 4 last operator standing.
Good job.
Op 4
So that round was a little bit better. You were droning out, but again, you aren't communicating. Your team is communicating. I know you have well enough English where you can communicate well enough to say game room or to look down and say an aviator room or vault. Like, these are pretty common callouts for where people are, 90 hallway, underneath the cam, by the hatch, or something. Anything. But you haven't communicated at all. The only thing you said was at the very beginning, asking for a Hibana in text chat, and then at that same round, asking where the objective was, and that was it.
neutralized. Mission successful.
And I think later on you said that they were in Aviator again, and then they weren't. They were in Trophy.
So they don't try to rush.
Right.
Let's ring.
Try kitchen.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
could. Let's ring trap operators. So they don't try to rush.
So, I hate to say it, but you're that one person that I absolutely hate in every single game, whether it's casual, unranked, or ranked. You wait until it's 4-4, overtime, match point, and then you start talking. All of a sudden, you find your voice, and you're like, I guess I kind of want to win now. I guess I want to try and close it out now. I guess we'll try and do something here. If you communicated a long time ago, you could have won. If you had made less mistakes a long time ago, you could have already been done with this match and you could have been on to your next one. Like, every time that happens, I always think to myself, wow, this person's really finna to waste my time with all this stuff, isn't he? Because you could have been talking a lot sooner, and for some reason you aren't. And now you have almost the entire trap roster except for Ella.
Protect the bombs.
This is more personal preference by me, but considering Kapkan's gadgetry and what he provides to the team, C4 is probably going to be better than his impacts because, yeah, if they go through a trap, you can just impact them and they'll either get downed or killed, but you shouldn't peek with the intent to use an impact. You should peek with the intent to kill and secure the kill, which is pre-firing them. Placing down your traps gets that. Using a C4 gets that. So that's personal preference by me. That's being more nitpicky than anything. And this is where I'm going to be really nitpicky. If you put it here, where are they most likely going to come? Up the stairs. Where are they going to see? Which door frame are they going to look for first? They're going to look at this door frame. What are they going to see first? This Kapkan trap sitting right here. Put it on the other door frame. It's just easier, and or not easier. It has more likely chance of going off if you do that.
Laying out the welcome mat.
Down to 10 seconds.
Laying out the welcome mat.
And one thing too, this is the mind game aspect again with Kapkan. He actually has, this is the unique thing I think about him, is that he actually has a lot of stuff going on like under the surface that not a lot of people think of. So you're trying to stop them from rushing. If they go in through this window and they just start rushing, they're going to see that there's a Kapkan really quick in the round, and they're going to notify their teammates, and now all of a sudden they're checking every single door, they're droning everything, and they're figuring that out. If you space out your Kapkan traps, you put one on this door, you put one good on the other door, which is nice. That's more of a late round one. You put it on laundry room door, art gallery door. You put one on living room door, the other one from over there, not in the mudroom. Then you start spacing them out more, and then now they're more mid to late game Kapkan traps. So if anything happens early in the round, it's still like if you know that a Kapkan trap goes off, it's like, okay, they're actually rushing, like they're coming in close, and they're less likely to not get or to get caught by them. And this is another thing. They break open this window. The easiest door frame to see is going to be this one, because you always look to the right because someone could peek you from. The safest one is the hallway to your right here. You're less exposed there. So better placement on that.
Increased surveillance on bomb. Op 4 hazardous user.
And this is what I like to see more. Like putting them at head height is a lot more valuable. It's more risk reward, I would say. High risk, high reward, or medium risk, high reward, I would say, because it's more easy to see it, but it's more surprising because people don't look there as often. People look at the bottom of the door for it. So if they look at the bottom of the door, they don't see it, they go through, but they could also crouch through it because a lot of people like to crouch walk. That's a good one because they have to peek the entirety of the door before they can actually get it. And they're exposed while they do. Again, we could have been on cams right away. Figure out where they're coming from. So that's above you. So this is what I was talking about earlier. When you want to remain quiet, you can hear that drone. It's like over here-ish, somewhere in Astro, or it might be like directly above you, just behind the beams. But they could probably hear you shuffling there too. And now they definitely know you're there. Not the best place to get on cams.
My toxic babes are in position.
Yep, good idea. Get the hell out of there.
Op 4 found a bomb. You must defend it.
Well, it ended up not mattering. So, what I would have done differently there is I would have just, the second that you start shooting and they know that you're there, because obviously they knew you were there. You saw the one drone that's you shot, right? Yeah, you shot one at the very top, and then immediately a thermite was peeking you, or whoever that was. I can't remember who that was at this already. Wow. So they know where you are. You know that for sure they're communicating with each other now. But you probably should have guessed that or assumed that and just gone downstairs. If you go downstairs, it's really hard to track your location because you could come up through pantry stairs, you could come up through red stairs, you could do anything you want, or you can just sit down there and hide and wait for them to drone you out. If they don't drone you out within like 20 seconds, then start heading back up because you don't want to waste too much time down there. And you knew that smoke was holding over by pantry, so you knew that it was relatively safe to go up through there.
Smoke there.
Was that you that said that?
Smoke there.
Yeah, he knows that someone's above him, but holding where he is the main goal for him. And see, this is what I was talking about. It's 4-4 match point. And now all of a sudden you decide to make callouts. But I mean, even the callouts that you were making wasn't that good. Like, obviously there's someone above him. Like, he does have ears.
Near me.
If you didn't know this too, where Legion is, like right behind him, there's a painting that you can impact or soft breach it, and you can get the hell out of there. It's really useful because not a lot of people know about it, and it's nice. So if you're ever in this situation, do that.
Down to 15 seconds. 10 seconds left. Op 4. last
Oh yeah.
op.
That Legion was really smart too. And honestly, they carried you hard. And you actually had 6 kills, 3 assists, and 5 deaths. But it's okay. You need to better communicate big time. Every kill that you got, from what I can remember, you never communicated that you got the kill. And in one instance, no, 2 of them was the clutch that you and Ash did. And then, did you get one here? No. A lot of them were just like random kills that you should have gotten anyway. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, the only one that was like kind of iffy that was just like, wow, I'm surprised you got that, was the Maestro one, because he left you on 1 HP afterwards. You need to communicate with your team, like big time. That's what's probably holding you back right now. Your mid gold, I think, is what you were saying. From what I remember, anyway. I'll look it up, but I'm gonna say mid gold is what I just saw. Like, your aim and your reaction time isn't horrible, but your decision making as to what to do when it's more than just a 1v1 is very clearly not good. You're making decisions where it's just like, okay, why did you do that? Like in this last round, like your Kapkan, you're sitting in a pretty open and spot that you can get pincered from easily. You know that someone's at Astro window, and you know that IQ's down below. So why on earth would you sit in that hallway, backstairs hallway, when you, or Astro stairs hallway, whichever one you want to call it, and wait for someone to kill you. Like that's all that I saw there was you were waiting for someone to finally kill you when you could have just gotten the hell out of there and gotten more value by going up a different set of stairs and surprising them somewhere else. Excuse me. And then there's some rounds where you win, where you didn't die, but you didn't do anything. Like the Jaeger round, like you didn't get any kills, you didn't put any pressure on the roam. You didn't. The only pressure that you put on was at the very end against that Twitch, and that was it. So like, what are you doing there? Is kind of my thing. And even when you were peeking the door, I remember you were peeking it right correctly because she ran out, and then you peeked the other side of the door as if she was still in the room when Rook was in the room. Like you could clearly see that Rook was in the room, and if Twitch was in there saying hello to him, I'd be pretty surprised by that. And you peek the other side of the door, and then all of a sudden decide, oh no, she is outside. And then it takes a while for you to click, like you're hyper focusing at some points in the round and not doing anything else. Another thing that you did is you're not droning everything. You're not droning your teammates in. You're saying screw it to my teammates. Ella killed 2 people in closet because no one knew that she was in there. She got the Finka right away. She just jumped on in because she thought it was clear because you were droning it out. And then she got the Hibana, right? Yeah, the Hibana afterwards, because she tried to kill her and she couldn't. Like no one tried to pinch her at all, and that's the problem. Like you need to communicate and you need to think on your feet and you need to think as a team, as if you have a team. Like even though sometimes people will not coordinate with you at all, people will not communicate with you at all. These people were more than willing to communicate with you and more than likely willing to coordinate with you, and you were the one that was reluctant to do so. You waited until the very last round to even make any semblance of good call outs, and you wasted a lot of time by doing that. Like this could have been like a 2-3 or a 2-4 stomp or a 1-4 stomp if you had just simply communicated. And that's like the biggest thing that I'm trying to get by with this is that you just need to communicate more and you'll win a lot more often.